Hello and welcome to another update video about ARB. It's time to reevaluate the chart and update it. A lot of you have requested an ARB update, and it's one of the few coins that actually managed to break out of a long down. Well, it's not so long, right? But sort of a lifetime downtrend to the upside. That doesn't happen very often, but I think they still had a good timing when they launched. There are many coins that launched still early in the bear market, yeah, and late in the bull market, last bull market, and they are far away from going to all-time highs. So this is something at least potentially interesting. We've got 3 waves down. Here is an ABC structure to the downside, and as the price broke above resistance and the recent high, this is now potentially bullish, but not clearly bullish yet. Of course, the trend is up short term, but when we evaluate it from an Elliott wave point of view, then we can identify that this structure gives us some problems. It's not ideal. That's often the case with altcoins. It's also often the case with charts that have a very short history. So when you look at this chart, we can see that the initial move up, which I call a wave 1, is an ABC structure. Okay, and that doesn't make the chart any clearer. It doesn't make the chart clear. So what does it mean? Well, it means that the overall assumption, what this actually is going to be a little unclear. The probabilities are more balanced. That just gives us some problems. It just means that we cannot look for absolute precision in this chart, have to be a bit more flexible, because if the first move up is an ABC structure, then this could be the A wave in yellow, the B wave in yellow, and the C wave, which might get another high. We'll see. It certainly reached minimum expectations, also the ideal targets for a C wave. And if it's a 3-wave top, I mean, that could literally turn into anything. It could, for example, form another 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, 3-wave move down. It's a so-called Elliott wave triangle pattern, okay? And that can take a long time. A 3-wave top can also turn into a larger 3-wave move. And this ABC turns into an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And also a 3-wave top can turn into a new downtrend. So you might say, oh, well, that's not good. Elliott wave doesn't work. Well, it couldn't be further from the truth. Elliott wave tells you here in this case that, well, probabilities are fairly unclear. Be on the side of caution. This is not clearly bullish. It's not clearly bearish either, but probabilities are fairly balanced. Yeah, that is a very valuable assessment about a chart, because, I'm not telling you not to trade this, but more generally, this is why Elliott wave is so helpful to determine if probabilities are clear or not. Here, they aren't really clear, okay? And it means just be on the side of caution. Maybe don't trade it too aggressively. Don't try to find the perfect micro count, because it doesn't exist, not in an ABC structure. Now, it could also be, and that's the white structure, a diagonal pattern. Certainly can't be an impulse, because, I mean, you see the initial move up is an ABC structure. So in a diagonal pattern, the wave 1 is an ABC pattern, the wave 2 as well, the wave 3 as well, the wave 4 should be as well. And if wave 4 support is holding, then a wave 5 should take it even higher. But it would also be an ABC structure, and it just means we have to expect pullbacks where we normally wouldn't expect them. So we shouldn't really go into the, let's say, the micro perspective and try to decipher what the perfect micro count is. But important is that also in both the yellow count and the white count, and you cannot distinguish them at the moment. It would just be a guess. In both of these scenarios, the ideal target range has already been reached. So the 1.618 extension for a 3rd wave is ideal. For a C wave, it's also okay. Gets a little long above that, but not invalid. In the next, if we continue to push higher, $2.32 and $2.58 are the next upside targets. And then obviously it could even go up all the way to $3.53. But we need to take it level by level now, because the price has literally done what it needed to do on this upside move. Of course, further extensions are possible. We know how parabolic such a crypto move can sometimes look like. I'm going to add another fib level here, $3.13. At some point, there should be a pullback. Okay, and okay, when can we determine it starts? Well, You might just want to use a trend line for that. At least it gives us an indication. Trend lines, it's always a little bit subjective, but if we get a sustained break, maybe even this, if we get a sustained break below the trend line, then it's an indication that this pullback has started. The support zone at the moment, measured against the last high, is between $1.28 and $1.75, but ideally the $1.41 level doesn't even break. And that's the 50% retracement level. So as long as that level is actually holding, I would still be looking for a fifth wave below $1.41. Probabilities for a fifth wave to the upside, which should then even go higher, will decrease. And the probabilities for an ABC structure, that an ABC top formed, that will increase, okay? And below $1.28, we have to take the white count basically off the chart. Strictly speaking, it's not going to be invalidated, but it is, well, let's say it's going to get very, very unlikely below the golden ratio, you know, that this still is a wave 4. It would then look much better as a B wave, so A, B, C. Yeah, and that's at the moment my assessment about ARB, which means sort of against the trend line, the focus can still be on higher, but be careful now because the minimum or the ideal expectations for a third wave have already been reached. Because third waves in crypto rally so quickly, that usually happens very quickly in crypto. If a wave 4 happens, it can be quite boring. Support will have to be adjusted if the price pushes any higher. And yeah, the $1.28 level is really the key bullish support level on this chart. That's my update about ARB. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.